The smell of cannon smoke singes our nostrils, and the din of ships crashing into one another fills our ears. In this battle report / tutorial, we are taking basic battles out to sea for a clash of ships.
Basic battles. Tabletop games for kids.
Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in lovely Fågelund, Sweden. What you see before you now is a sea battle setup that we are going to be using when we play a battle report / tutorial of our basic battles rules system. However, we are going to be making a few small changes to this particular rule set for this game, and we can explain that now in a little bit more detail before we go ahead and dive in and show you how to play this game. I can just mention, in case you are curious, that the ships we're using for this battle come from this board game, Niagara. So you get a bunch of different colored ships. I have actually 2 copies of this board game, so I'm going to be pulling out ships from both copies so that we have 4 ships on each side. Before we go ahead and deploy our ships, I will just walk you through some of the special rules that we're going to be using in this scenario that differ a little bit from Basic Battles version 2.0. The first rule has to do with our movement dice. Because we're using a bit of a smaller space and I want to keep it a little bit tighter, we are going to be using D10s instead of D12s for our movement. So this will still work the same way. If we want to simply move, we roll 2 D10s. If we want to shoot or charge, we will roll 1 D10. Second off, instead of moving all of our troops, our ships, at one time on each side, we are going to try alternative deployment. So that means we will simply pick one figurine and move it, charge with it, or shoot at one time, then hop over to the other side. And in order to mark our ships, we'll be using these small little markers, these little clear markers, and that we'll place behind each ship, or next to each ship when we have activated, so we know that we've activated that ship for that round. When all the ships have activated and there are no ships left to activate for that round, we will go ahead then and roll for the next round of initiative and roll our d20 to see who will begin the activation in the next round. And finally, these are great little ships that we got from our Niagara game. And inside of each of these ships, I placed 3 little markers each. These will be the wound markers. You could also use a die if you wanted to, but I thought this was kind of fun. And as the ship takes a wound, I will just simply remove one of the markers from the ship, leaving the remaining ones there. Once all the markers are removed, I will take the ship out of play. Okay, with those special rules laid out, we are ready to roll off for deployment. 2 D20s, and the highest roll gets to pick which side it wants to deploy on. Here we go. And it'll be an 18 to an 8. Yellow will begin. And it's pretty important now for these sides to pick carefully because we have a lot of terrain, islands, and rocks and things in the water that are going to be breaking up line of sight and make it difficult to shoot across the board. So go ahead, ships, choose your sides wisely. All right, there we have our deployment finished. Pretty exciting setup. The yellow team has picked this side of the board edge first on which to deploy, taking a nice hiding spot between this island, and they have these rocks in front of them to try and prevent line of sight. Now on the opposite end now, after the yellow has deployed, the red has set up here, also hidden a bit by these islands, and over here we have a bit of a harbor here. So it looks like both sides are going to be pretty well protected in their first turn. Let's go ahead and roll off initiative for our first activation. And it's going to be a 20 to a 16. The red team gets to begin activation. I'm not sure we're going to get any shooting off with these guys, so let's go ahead and use our 2 dice for movement, our 2 D10s, and we'll start off with this guy down here below. This is how many potential inches he has, up to 10 inches. Let's see where he can move. There we go. We're going to slide him around that little rock here and give him some cover behind this island. We won't move him out there in the middle, but hopefully that'll give him a chance maybe to charge later. And let's go ahead and mark him as activated. Next, let's run over to our yellow ships here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll shake 2 dice for movement. And, oh, a measly 3 inches. We'll move him up in that direction, keep him safe behind the island. Back to the red team. Let's go ahead and activate this guy. 2d10 for movement, and 9 inches. Back to yellow. Let's go for this one over here in the back. Also 2d10. That will be a total of 16 inches. Man, a massive movement. 16 inches will get us out right behind this lighthouse type structure in range for some charging. There is its final position, but you can see now that it is a little bit vulnerable over here. So we're going to activate this guy, roll 1 dice now so that we can shoot, see if we can get him far enough out that he can actually get a shot off on that one. 1d10 for movement because we're shooting. Give us some big numbers. 6. That's pretty decent. And with those 6 inches of movement, you see that we can, in fact, see the yellow ship over there. We have a line of sight, so we're going to go ahead and take a shot. Now, here's what's interesting. We need to measure it out. If it is between 0 and 12 inches, it's 1 die versus 2. If it's between 12 and 24, the defender gets 2 die. If it's beyond 24, then I miss automatically, and there is no pre-measuring. So let's measure this out. Nice. Okay, so we are within long range. We're not out of range, but we are 17 inches away. So that means the attacker gets to roll 1 die, and the defender gets to roll 2. Attacking roll now is a 12. Okay, defender against 2, 13 and 17. So easily evading that shot. No damage. Activating our yellow ships. Let's take the one on the top there. And let's go ahead and move it. So we'll roll 2d10. That will be a mere 4 inches, so we're going to try to move it behind the island a little bit. Red turn, final activation. Let's go ahead and take this ship right here, and let's roll 1 die, see if we can get it out and take a shot over on this little yellow ship here in the middle. Oh, only 1 inch. Let's see if we have line of sight. And no, we do not have line of sight, so that is the end of the red team's activations. Let's run over to yellow and do our last one. We'll take this ship on the top here, and let's go ahead and just move that thing out. So we're going to roll 2d10 now for movement. Here we go. And wow, 15 inches. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and move that thing out somewhere where it can be a little bit more dangerous. And there you see its final position, hiding behind those rocks between these islands, ready to pounce at the first sight of the next ship. Okay, here's how things look at the end of the first round. The red ships are starting to move into the center of the sea area. The yellow ships are being a little cautious, except for this guy, who's right in the middle. But that may, in fact, be a really good move, because if they win initiative now, he is within charge range of some of those ships. Or at least he's going to probably prevent them from moving too close. Well, let's go ahead and roll initiative now for the second round and see who begins. Yellow really needs this. And it's a 14 to an 11, so yellow will indeed begin. Let's begin up here with this guy on the top, and we'll roll 1 die so that he can shoot, because he may be able to pick off one of these red guys. All right, we need a big number here, 4 inches. All right, let's slide him 4 inches down here and see if he has a line of sight onto that boat. All right, there's his position, and let's go ahead and check line of sight. And it looks like he does indeed have line of sight on that red boat. Yes, he does. So let's go ahead and take a shot off into that red boat. The red boat is at long range, so we get 2 defense dice there. Oh, it's a 2 from the yellow guys. This will be no problem. 16 and a 9, so the red boat evades. Well, I think we should activate this same boat, roll him 1 die, and try to take a shot back. So 8 inches. Let's move him the full 8, leaving us still a good 8 inches away from the other ship, so not super dangerous. Let's bring him right here, charging down on that yellow ship. Let's take a shot. We are in close range, so it's a straight up 1-to-1 die roll. Here we go. And it's a 15 to a 10. The yellow ship evades the shot by the cannons from the red ship. Okay, that might have been risky for the red ship to come so close to this yellow ship, but this yellow ship now is going to charge here. We don't know the distance, so I don't know the probabilities here, but we're going to go ahead and charge in with this boat and try to ram the red one. And after measuring now, this is 6 inches, so that was pretty good placement there. It's going to be a little bit difficult. We got to roll a 6 or higher on this D10 in order to connect and charge. So here we go. 8! He's in! He's in with an 8! Okay, here's charging attacks now with the basic battles rules. This guy, because he had charged, gets 2 attacks, but because of the force, this guy will only get 1 defense. So let's roll our 2 off here, a 7 and a 10. Defense dice comes in at a 10 as well. So the 7 misses, the 10 would connect, but ties we always re-roll. A 15 to a 16, yes! So the red guy loses 1 wound, bringing him down to 2. The red ship up here seeing the crash is smelling blood, so he's also going to charge into the yellow guy. 1d10. And it's a 7. He's going to make it. All right, 2 attacks from the red guy onto the yellow guy. We have got a 1, which misses, and a 6. Not a good roll. Let's go ahead and roll back a 5. Oh, no. So 1 wound goes through, dropping that yellow ship down to 2. Yes, so an extremely ugly mess there in the center of the sea. Over to the yellow. Let's go ahead and activate this guy. Let's roll 1 die, move him down, and see if he can get a shot off on that red boat highest up. Okay, this is pretty exciting. We need to have a roll high enough to get us around the coast so we can have a line of sight. So give us something big here. 5. Ooh, let's see if that's enough. Let's see if that's enough. All right, that's not going to be enough to get us around the island to take a shot off on that ship. But there is a line of sight from this ship. If we follow through here the rocks over to this ship, the question is that going to be within our range? Well, we're going to take a shot and find out. Here we go. And after measuring, you see, no, we are like 27.5 inches away. So we shoot off a cannonball, but it lands splats in the water somewhere about here. So that is going to miss, ending that activation for the yellow team. Let's run back over here to the red team. Let's have this guy move up and see if he can take a shot off on that yellow guy or do something here. Let's see if we can move him up a little bit. 1 die. And there's a 5. That'll get us up somewhere here, a little bit closer anyway. All right, these red guys are thinking strategically. We're going to have him slide his 5 inches right here. We're going to turn him ever so slightly like this. That means he is blocked from line of sight over to that guy up there, which is great. But now he has a line of sight from here over onto this yellow ship here. So let's go ahead and take a shot off. 14 inches, so we are at long range. That means that guy up here is going to get an evade of 2 die. Let's roll the attack dice first. An 8, no, not great. 2 evade dice, 17 and a 2. So they're able to avoid with 1 there. In that sense, then, the shot does not go through. Now, you might think, isn't it a little weird to talk about evasion when you're in combat? Well, I guess that's another way of talking about when you're at long range, you're not very accurate. So the 2 dice here just is a way of representing that it's a pretty hard shot when you're far away. Alrighty, let's run over here and do our last activation for this yellow team here. Let's just get him moving up and see where we can bring him. 2 dice. Man, that's a good 10 inches. Final activation for round 2. Let's go over here to this red guy and let's go ahead and roll him off to see maybe he can get over. Oh, this is bad. These guys are blocking his line of sight. That is horrible. Oh, my goodness. Well, we're not going to be able to get a good shot on him unless we roll really, really well. So here's the question. Do we want to roll 2 d10s and move, or do we want to roll 1 and try to shoot? Oh, I just don't know. Let's go ahead and why not? Let's roll 1 and see if we can take a shot off. 4 inches. No, I don't think that's going to be enough. No, unfortunately not. 4 inches is not going to be enough for us to get line of sight. So we'll just move our guy his 4 inches right there. And we'll turn him like this, facing into the battle. Unfortunately, we won't get a shot off. No line of sight. Our boats are blocking him, and nothing else is in line of sight due to those islands. So that is where we will end off that round for the second round of this game. End of round 2, and so far we've got some damage over in this combat right here. Other ships are beginning to pour in. They're going to be pretty dangerous in the next round. We got this guy down here. I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of off, maybe having a little leisure cruise fishing tour there. Let's go ahead and roll off now for initiative for the third round. And it's 20-11. The yellow is going to begin. No question about this one. We're going to have him charge into his flank right here. All right, this is huge. We need a big number. 8. Yes, that's enough. Attacker now gets 2 attacks, so here we go. And a 19 and a 9. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. The red defense gets a 15, so one of those attacks will go through the 19, removing 1 point of hit point damage from the red ship, bringing it down to 2. All right, let's go ahead and come on back now, and let's have this guy. He's going to go ahead and attack the yellow boat. The yellow boat's down to 2 wounds here. Maybe these two can, like, pick him off somehow. Simple combat, so D20 versus D20, and no, 13. The yellow ship is able to avoid that attack. Yellow's turn to activate. Let's go ahead and move him up and see if we can also get a shot off through those 2 yellow ships onto that red one. So we're going to roll a single D10. Here we go. 5. That should be enough. Yes, that is enough. So we have a shot going here, and I think it is close range. Let's check it. Yes, it is actually just within 12 inches, so we are a 1-to-1 here on this range shot. And a 16 to an 18. The red die rolls an 18, so he is not able to connect onto that red ship. End of that turn. Let's do our next red one here in combat with this ship, and it's a straight 1-to-1 roll. And it is a 16 to a 19. No, these guys are rolling way too well. So that hit also misses. This ship on top is going to slide over here and get a shot off on the red. We need a decent roll. 10 inches, no problem. Let's not go the full 10 inches. We will just bring him right about here and go ahead and take a shot. Close range, 1-to-1. 8 to 8 ties. Let's re-roll those. And a 19 to a 7. Awesome. So that goes through, dropping this red ship down to a single wound. He is almost sunk. Old red is going to activate here and see if we can get over here, take a shot off on him. 7 inches, no problem. Close range here, so 1-to-1. Here we go, red, a 16 to a 2. He connects. Another point of damage on our yellow ship. He is also down to 1 wound. Last yellow activation. This guy against that guy. He has a chance to kill him. Let's go here, 1-to-1 on our D20 rolls. A 5 to a 15, so no, the red guy evades the attack. But let's not get too cocky, for here is this guy coming up here. Let's move him his 1d10 movement and take a shot off onto that yellow ship. We have a chance to pick him off. 9 inches, yes. There we go. Let's take a shot on that guy right here. Close range, so we're looking at a 1-to-1. Here we go. Red guy is rolling a 10. Yellow defense, 16. He misses. Yellow stays alive. End of round 3, and things are looking pretty ugly in the middle of the ocean here. We're going to have to roll for initiative, and this is going to be huge because the winner of this may very well be taking some ships out of the sea here. Let's roll it off, and here we go. It is a 12 to a 2. The yellow ships will begin. Well, obviously, we're going to activate this yellow ship right here and take a attack onto that red guy. See if he can knock him out before the yellow ship itself gets killed. 1-to-1 combat. Here we go. Yellow rolls a 16, looking promising. And a 9. Yes. So that is the last wound on that red ship, pulling him out and freeing up this other yellow ship here now to maybe do some charging. Red here activating, coming back into that ship. 2 attacks. And we're looking at a 2 and a 6. Not a good roll. Let's see if the yellow ship can stay alive with an 11. Yes, he evades both those attacks. This ship is now going to activate and charge over here. We cannot miss, so we'll get 2 attacks there. This could actually be enough to knock that ship out because it has 2 wounds. So here we go, 2 attacks. Give us something strong. 19 and 11, not bad. Here we go. And it's a 12. No, so one of them goes through. The other wound does not, leaving that guy at a single wound. Well, let's have this guy attack back here. He's almost dead. 1-to-1 combat here. And a 14 to a 5. Yes! So he connects, taking the last wound on that ship and freeing up the other ship, his pal there, from combat. Man, things are going quickly now. Let's have this guy charge into the stronger ship here. We're going to have to roll for that. So a D10. We need a pretty decent roll here. What do we get? 3 inches. Oh, no, that's not going to be enough. I don't think. I got to measure it. No, so sad, so sad. It's like the Titanic. Oh, this is as far as we're going to get. We didn't make our charge on him. That was pathetic. So we put ourselves in a pretty bad position right now. Time to get our red pal here back involved. And, oh, I don't know. Should we dare? Yeah, we're going to charge him. 1 roll on a D10. Here we go. Ooh, it's kind of a long charge. I haven't pre-measured it. I don't know how far it is, but here we go. 8! Yes! Oh! Ooh, I can feel the testosterone pumping in my veins on that one. Here we go. Yes. So he is now connecting with that ship. Let's go ahead and take 2 attacks on the red ship on the yellow. 2 attacks. Here we go. A 16. 2 16s. That's pretty powerful. Coming back now, our defense die for the yellow. A 9. So he loses 2 wounds. All right, yellow activation. I don't think we're going to make it in with a charge from this distance, so we're going to roll 1 die and move and shoot over on this yellow guy. I mean, shoot on the red guy. Why would we shoot on our own guy? We're going to shoot on the red guy. Movement roll, and it's 5 inches. Short range, so we have an 18. Ooh, wow, and a 9 defense, so 1 attack wound goes through. Okay, with that brings us to the end of our round 4, and you see how quickly things go when combat starts flying. We are looking pretty good, pretty even actually, although I would say it looks like the yellow has a slight advantage. Let's go ahead and roll initiative for round 5. 13 to 4, the red will begin. All right, get ready for this. I'm going to do something a little unconventional. I'm going to activate this guy. Just rotate him around a little bit. And I'm actually going to pull him out of combat with this guy and have him charge into combat with him. Now, what that is going to do, he gets an attack of opportunity. And I'll move him back just a little bit. An attack of opportunity on him, but then he's going to get 2 attacks on the stronger ship. So attack from yellow on a 5, and he evades it with a 20, no problem. But that means now this guy gets 2 attacks onto the yellow ship. Red attacking, 5 and 13, not great. Yellow ship rolls a 5. Whoa. So one of those goes through. Second one, an 8 to a 5. No. So 2 wounds goes through. The gamble paid off. Woo, bringing him down to 1. Coming right back at you. This yellow ship is going to charge into that red ship, giving him 2 attacks on the red one. Yellow ship rolling a 7 and a 6. Not very good. An 8. So the red avoids all of the damage for this round. Nice. And now we're going to pick on this little weak ship that this guy ran in, rammed him against, and took all his damage away. Red attacking yellow. 1 to 1. This could be enough to knock him out of the game. 17 to 4. Poof. That ship sinks down to the bottom of the ocean. Yellow, seeing what has happened, is going to have to charge, and he's actually going to charge him so that he can't charge back. Very smart move, because if he would have charged here, for example, well, then he would have been able to charge that ship. So anyway, yeah, this guy, he's going to charge over here, but it's a long shot. Let's see if he can pull it off with a 10. No problem. Yeah. Oof. Comes and broadsides him here, meaning that the yellow guy gets 2 attacks on the red guy. Strong 2 attacks, and we have a 15 and 18. Wow. Red defends on a 17. So the 18 goes through, taking 1 wound off, dropping that guy down to 2. So a decent enough charge. He at least got 1 wound out. Okay, I was debating whether or not I should pull him out and try to charge the other yellow guy since he only has 1 wound, but I don't really have a straight line there, so I can't charge like this. I can't charge in zigzags. So I'm going to leave him where he is and just attack back on the yellow ship. It's a 1-to-1 attack here. 17 to a 16. Perfect. So he will drop down 1 wound, leaving those two ships with 2 wounds each, and pretty even. And that brings us into our 6th round. It looks like we are going to be probably done after this round. The ships are really getting beat up. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative here. Huge, 19-6. The red is going to begin. Well, I think I know what we're going to do first of all. This guy's going to turn, charge into that yellow ship. 2 attacks on a 1 defense. This is enough to take them out. We didn't. Oh, natural 20! Natural 20 to a 19. I just said it doesn't look like we had any natural 20s this game, but we just got a natural 20. That's 2 wounds. So right now we're looking at 3 possible wounds. How does the yellow roll? It's a natural 1! It's a natural 1 against a natural 20. 3 wounds go through. That was the most explosive ram I have ever seen. The yellow ship is gone. Oh, man. What a play. Yellow doesn't have much to do. Gonna attack back on the red guy. 3-13. He misses. No, red is gonna come back on the yellow ship. Here we go, red. 17-17. It's a tie, red. Here we go. 6-6. It's another tie. Come on, red. 10-2. Yes, finally he gets him. That last ship is destroyed, and the Red Navy has run over the Gold Navy for a decisive victory. Wow. Well, there you have it, folks. An exciting game of Basic Battles version 2.0 in our watery setup, the clash of ships between 2 navies. I really like the alternative activation rule that we used here. I think that makes the game go even faster, and it makes it even more interesting and captivating for young children. Gonna have to play test this a bit more and see if this is something we want to include in a future version of the rules. But man, I sure had a good time today with this game, as you can probably tell. If you like this kind of content, you want to see more Basic Battles content and see us develop these rules even further and make them even better, then please do subscribe, give us a thumbs up, pass these videos around, and hopefully soon enough we'll have a PDF of the rules that all of you can look at when you play your own games of Basic Battles version 2.0. Well, thank you for joining us today for this game in this tutorial bat rep kind of format. It was a lot of fun. I hope you've learned a little bit about the Basic Battles rules system, as well as just had fun watching a really cool bat rep. But most of all, thank you for joining us here today at Gray Army Gaming for the future of gaming.
Ta-da!